Gentlemen and ladies, welcome, 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 welcome. Test, test, test. We good? Yes, we are. Yerp, was goody Kendall? My bad, started a little late. I was very distracted. Sorry. I got my food. I didn't even eat it. I'm gonna. We're just gonna do the class. Then I'm gonna eat. Then I'm gonna shower. Then I gotta go to the bank. I forgot I had to go to the bank. And then we'll go on from there, guys. So, welcome to this weekend's weekly market breakdown. This is the session where we go over every single pair that we trade and we look at during the live trading sessions throughout the week. We're going to go over every pair that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOIL. We'll again, I'm not going to take an hour and a half to do this session. We are going to kind of do this fairly quickly. We'll go over the daily time frame for the first, especially for AU for the first pair. We'll go over the daily time frame, talk about where we're at, what we're looking for, what moves the market has given us, update our daily highs, daily lows, do the same thing on the 4-hour time frame. We'll update our 4-hour highs, 4-hour lows. We'll see if we have any continuations for the week. Do the same thing on the 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, see if there's any continuation. And we will also take some time to go over Bitcoin. I haven't updated my Bitcoin chart. I've been doing a little bit of back testing, forward testing on Bitcoin, and usually when I do that, I leave the chart alone. I don't update it for X amount of time. Sometimes it depends. Bitcoin is a really big pair and is a pair that moves 24/7. With that being said, I gave that chart a little bit of time. I think it was like 2-3 weeks to develop, continue to make moves, and then I'm gonna update it. So I'll look at the Bitcoin chart today. If I feel comfortable in updating it and I want to go ahead and do it, that's what we're gonna do. If not, I'm just gonna skip over Bitcoin and go on from there. Hey brothers, I hope you're doing well. Your voice is quite faint. Oh man, let me see if I could test 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 test. Hello. I don't know why. Let me. I don't know what happened. See if I could change some of these settings here. I don't have no filters on. Nothing at all. Give me 1 second. Give me a minute, guys. Yeah, Albert, let me know if that's better. I didn't have any filters on, bro. I really have no clue why. I just went on the YouTube stream myself and heard it. It doesn't seem low on my end. Make sure that your volume is all the way up and everything. But hope you're doing well, Albert. It's been a minute. Hope you've been doing well. So again, let's get started. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. If not, we're just going to be going over the pairs that you see with the red flag next to their name, and then we'll go on from there. This week, I will be, if there's trades in the morning, if there's anything left in the morning, if pairs haven't hit STP or ADR, we will turn the stream on in the morning. We'll talk about it, and then go on from there. I said this last week in one of the last sessions that I did. 2026, there's going to be a little bit of changes when it comes to the live sessions, when I do it, what's the time frame on it. Me personally, again, obviously I'm going to be doing the same thing every single day, but the live streams may be a little bit different. right? I'm thinking about the weekly market breakdown. I'm thinking about doing that for WAP. The live trading sessions, I'm thinking about just doing that for WAP. Maybe do like one or two on YouTube throughout the week. Um, and then the isolation sessions, that'll also be done on WAP. There's gonna be a little bit of changes. Nothing is confirmed yet. It's just an idea. It's something that I've been wanting to do, especially already at this point. You know, we have 4 years of consistent data and consistent videos, live streams every single day for 4 years. You know, we have well over 600, 700 videos on our YouTube channel. So, with that being said, 2026 is gonna be a good one, right? We gotta make it a good one. So it's time to level up. It's time to do what we gotta do, gentlemen. But let's get started. So AUD USD, we know we are in level 3 on a downtrend. Price gave us a lower low. We're looking for a lower high to be set. We have a month of no net, pretty much in a zone of consolidation with AUD USD. We're back at the previous highs where price has tapped into, rejected, and went down. We came back up, we tapped into the highs, rejected it, and we start seeing now that price is going down. Now, does this mean that price is going to go all the way down? No, right? Because if you just look at what price is doing in the last couple days, right? Price has just been trending all the way up. Price gave us a higher high. What do we think price is going to do? More than likely, price is going to give us a higher low to then continue back up into an uptrend. Now, where I'm expecting price to give us that lower high point is going to be once price comes up and fills this 30-minute gap up here, and this is where we'll start seeing price go back down to the bottom, right? So we have nothing really to talk about on the daily time frame. So now we go down to the 4-hour, right? We start breaking this down piece by piece, understanding every single move that the market is giving us and the reasons why. Right, you guys see that I have a note there. We'll talk about that note as well. Let me add a few lines here so I don't have to do this every week. Christmas, which is 9, 10 days from now. I'm still on the fence of what I'm gonna be doing for the break. I don't know if I should bring my computer. I'm gonna go to Miami. I just don't know if to go see my parents and everybody over there. I don't know if I should bring my computer. I don't know if I'm gonna just not bring my computer but be back in Orlando. So I have two things, and I'll say this too, so you guys are also aware of what my schedule is gonna be like. So this week is gonna be completely normal schedule. The isolation sessions, I might be a little bit late to the sessions. I'm gonna try my best to not be late to the sessions, but it just all depends on what my schedule is like for the week. Um, so for sure for the week after, which is again the 24th. Well, let's look at it right. So the week of next week, pretty much next week, right? I'll be going to Miami on the 23rd. With that being said, if I go on the 23rd, there's a very big possibility that I'll just stay over there until the 2nd. Maybe huge possibility that that might be what I'm doing, or the 1st. But another thing that I might do is leave to Miami on the 23rd. So there's definitely not going to be a session on the 23rd, an isolation session. Obviously, it's already Christmas Eve, then Christmas. I'm not going to be doing nothing. For the idea is I either might come back home on the 26th, right? And I'll be home the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, right? And then I'll go back to Miami on the 30th to go spend New Year's over there with the fam. And then I'll be back home on the 2nd. That's one idea that I have. Or I might just leave on the 22nd or on the 23rd, and I'll just be back the next week on the 2nd. If I end up doing that, there's a big possibility that I'm gonna bring my computer, but there's also a very big possibility that I might not. But I think I have to. I don't think I could go a week. There's no way I could go a week without updating my charts and looking at what I gotta look at. There's just no way. I have too much to do, too many things to take care of. But I don't know yet. I'll let you guys know. There's also I have families from out of town, from overseas that's coming for Christmas, and I have to go pick them up on the 25th. So I also feel some type of way about, obviously not being there while they're there, but I also don't know um what days they're gonna be leaving. So I'll get more information for you guys for next week and what my plans are. I'll let you guys know what it is that I'm gonna do. But for now, I just wanted to give you guys that heads up. So I pray 2026 doesn't get dramatic for us. Did you hit your target for the year? I didn't really set no targets. When it comes to trading, Albert, I used to have targets. I'm not gonna lie to you. But for the past 2 years, I stopped doing that. And the reason why is, for me at least, if I set a target, if I set a goal as to what I want to do, that's just psychologically, you're going to force yourself to want to trade more, and you're going to force yourself to, oh, I got a goal, and this is the goal that I now want to hit it, so I'm just going to take whatever trades are on the chart. So, mm, profit wise, trading wise, I didn't have a target like, oh, I want to make X amount of money for the year. So I just I engineered my goals a little bit different. So for example, my goals for this year was trading, just be consistent. That's all it was. That's all I have down on my whiteboard. 2025 end of year goal, be consistent on the charts. That's it. So did I hit my goal for the year? Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. A lot of the goals that I had for this year were met. There were some goals that I had, for example, like passing the Propfirms and all that, that unfortunately wasn't in my books, right? Not because I didn't pass. You guys saw how this year went when it came to Propfirms. I had two different Propfirms who completely just scammed the fuck out of me. One that I never saw a payment from, and then the other one I passed phase one and I passed phase two, and then they denied my account. Never got it, saying that I was a high risk trader, even though I passed phase one and phase two with 3 trades, and there was nothing. Like I never received the email back. They never gave me a valid reason. All they said was your account's been deactivated. You're a high risk trader. After evaluating your account, blah 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 blah. So the two accounts that I did work on this year, and this happened, this happened probably what, in June, May, June, July, something like that. So technically, yes, I met those goals, but unfortunately, nothing really came out of it. I don't need the satisfaction of, oh, I passed a Propfirm. We do that. That's really, for us. That's really nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the first time I've passed Propfirms. It's not the first time that I've received payouts from Propfirms. Again, shout out my funded FX, or my Forex funds. Which one was it? My Forex funds. They got shut down the month after I received my first payout from them. So that's the only firm that I've actually received money from and passed the account very easily. And this was back in 2021, maybe 2022. So it's been a few years now since that. Um, but yeah, long story short, my goals for 2026 were pretty simple. Or for 2025, sorry. For 2025, it was very simple. It was nothing too crazy. I wanted to take this year very lightly. Um, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of things that I had to really there's a lot of things that I had to take into consideration for this year. But I'm glad that it ended up being how it was, and I was able to put in a lot of work this year. So 2026 is going to be the year of change, though. I will tell you guys that right now. Our classes are gonna be a little bit different. You know, I'm always one to be like, oh yeah, I want to do this for you guys, and that's always gonna be true. But this year I'm gonna be looking out for me a lot more, and the things that I gotta accomplish. Right, I just there was so much time this year that I just went to waste, and it was nobody's fault. You know, like yeah, I could go over here and start picking on everybody for the people who wasted my fucking time many times. Um, but that's nobody's fault, right? I understand that life is gonna step in and it shit's gonna happen, right? To leave it at that. So, but I also want to take into consideration like I'm doing so much for other people to the point where I'm not putting myself first and my responsibilities first. I'm putting everybody else first, right? So 2026 is gonna be completely different. You know, I'll say this because I'm not gonna really say what's the changes. I'm not gonna say none of that yet until I speak with E and until we all get on the same page. You know, I'll still be available for everybody, but it's gonna be a little bit different, right? There's gonna be set schedules. There's gonna be, you know, we're still working on the course, and again, we didn't really realize how much time that was gonna take. So hopefully we could get that up by 2026, sometime in 2026. Um, Outside of that, you know, there's there's only so much, you know, also that there's only so much that one person could do with 100 people. So yeah, it's good. Good to know my year might be starting as early as next week. I had to be purchasing a FTMO account without a demo. I guess I didn't waste your time to. No, absolutely not, Albert. You guys that show up day in and day out, you know, you guys are the ones that are the least wasting time. You guys are the one putting in the work. Like, you know, pretty much how I messaged you guys in the Discord, right? You guys are the ones that kept me motivated this year to continue to do it. Because there was a lot of time, you know, Kendall knows this specifically. Like, there was a lot of times this year where I was like, yo, I don't want to do these sessions no more. E knows this too. Like, yo, I don't want to do these sessions anymore. And, you know, E was, you know, and I agree with this. And this is always something that E told me even in the beginning when I first started doing the sessions in 2021. Um, you know, like these sessions, as selfish as this sounds, at the end of the day, these sessions are for me, right? These sessions keep me in check. These sessions help me get on the charts every single day, update my charts, and look at it on a deeper level than just getting on the charts and doing it. Like if I were to just do it alone again, I'd be done doing this in 10 minutes, right? And yeah, in 10 minutes I could grasp what I need to grasp in 10 minutes. But if I take 15 minutes, 10 minutes for each pair instead of just doing 10 minutes for 16 pairs, right? When you take the time and you break everything down and you talk about it, not only do you see it more clear, but again, your chart vision, the more you look at it, the chart vision just gets more and more clear. And you guys have seen it this entire year, right? You guys see how I mark up my charts. And every single time, almost every single time we mark up our charts, exactly what we talk about is what's happening. Every single time, right? It wasn't like I traveled to the future and I'm talking about in hindsight. No, right? How many times in the Discord did I send a screenshot? I'm like, yo, be aware of this price and how price is going to react here, etc., etc. And that's exactly what happens, right? Happened last week with a couple pairs that we talked about in the Discord, right? So I like doing these sessions not only because obviously I want to be able to help out as many people as possible, but I like doing these sessions because it keeps me in check. So, you know, again, these sessions won't ever stop. Definitely won't ever stop. However, the way I approach it and how I do it, it's gonna be a little bit different, right? It's to the point where, and I'll say this. I guess I'll get this off my chest. You know, we've been doing this for free for so long, and yes, this year we tried charging, and honestly, the first couple months were good, and then after that, I'm like, yo, I feel bad for charging because a lot of people, right? A lot of people, almost everybody who's in the group has had some situations where they just couldn't do it and then they stopped showing up, right? And it's not my intention to make you guys feel like, oh, I can't do this anymore because it's a financial burden, right? So for the most part, I haven't been charging anybody for the last what 6 months, 7 months. So that's not an issue. However, I'm gonna have to start charging. I have to, right? Again, and at this point too, I didn't feel bad. Like I don't feel bad about it now because we have so much free information on our YouTube channel to the point where it's like you don't even have to pay anything. All the information is in every single stream that we've done. And again, just use last week's sessions for an example, right? We did an isolation session for 2 hours. We did a weekly market breakdown for 2 hours. There was so much information in just the first 30 minutes of the session to the point where, again, realistically speaking, if you guys really wanted to put in the time and you really wanted to learn shit, you go and you watch the sessions. But realistically speaking, that's another thing. How many people go and rewatch the videos? And you guys hear me talking about that every single day. Go watch the recording. Go take notes. Go do this. So for me, it's more of an effort thing where it's like, yo, I'm not gonna continue to put 100% effort for people to only give me back 10% effort, and I'm doing it for free, right? So it's like, nah, I'm gonna start charging, and it is what it is. You know, I'm gonna make it a thing to where like if you guys hit me up and be like, yo, I can't pay this amount, but I'm able to pay this amount. Cool. I'll charge you whatever amount you could pay, or you could, yeah, whatever amount you could pay, and we'll go on from there, right? But there was just way too much time this year that was really wasted from just people hitting me up and yo, we want to do this session. I go and I mark it, and then I'm home all day and they don't show up. Or I'll give out homework and nobody gives the homework, right? I'm still waiting for people to submit the homework from 2 weeks ago when I talked about a specific pair in one of the last sessions that we did. It's like how many people did that homework? How many people? And there was like three different things that I said, yo, make sure you guys do this. And nobody did it, right? Nobody turned anything in. So for me, it's like, yo, what's the point of me doing this shit for free? I'm wasting my time. Not only I'm wasting my time. That's really all it is, right? And time is money. I got other things I want to do. I got other things I have to accomplish outside of trading that unfortunately I just won't be able to do it if I'm home all day, right? So, too much information for free, way too much. The pairs with the red flags are the ones you will not be taking a look at during the live session in the morning, right? No, the ones with the red flag are the ones that we're looking at every single day. The pairs with the red flag are the ones we look at. The ones that don't have the red flag, I don't even look at them. But the ones with the red flags are the ones that we look at every single day. But alright guys, let's get started because I'm hungry. I still gotta eat. I have my food here and it's just I'm so hungry. So we went over the daily time frame, right? The 4 hour time frame, we're still trading between the same 4 hour high and 4 hour low. We had 2 weeks of rise. This week being the third week, it gave us that third week rise. Again, is moving counter trends, so I'm not gonna mark this as a rise no net. It's just a no net. Price is just moving sideways last week, so we have no continuations on AUDUSD. And then on the 30-minute time frame, we're still trading between higher high, higher low. Let me see this. We have higher high, higher low. I don't want to mark this as higher high, higher low, but I did that anyway. But realistically speaking, we have dude, are we dead ass? We have higher high, higher low, higher high. Right, so we're trading between these lows down here and these highs. And then we have 2 days of drop. Market open just now. Gave us that third day push with the market open. Right, 50 EMA is still above the 200. We could very well still be on an uptrend in this spot. So AU will let price do what it has to do, and we'll go on from there. Tomorrow morning we'll come back on the charts and update what we gotta update. Again, if there's really nothing to talk about on these pairs, I'm just gonna go through them. Um, if there's something to talk about, something that I feel like is really good information, we'll go on from there. Again, you guys know I usually don't trade Mondays just because. Hold on, give me a second. Um, my bad. I was knocked on my door. What was I saying? Yeah, the pairs that we don't really have to talk about. Oh, I was saying Mondays. Yeah, Mondays I usually don't trade. Not for anything. It's just usually on Mondays, right? When the market opens going from Sunday going into Monday, usually the markets move as soon as the markets open, right? We'll usually just get the movements during Asia, maybe London, and then New York, we won't really get anything important. So, um, not expecting anything too crazy. So today's session again, we did more talking than anything else. They updated YouTube. Yeah, we've been talking already for 42 minutes, so I'll be done with this session today fairly quick. If there's something to talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, then again, we'll just go through these, update it, and then we'll come back tomorrow morning. So, AUDCAD, we're in the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend, right? Where price has been rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, and now price is coming back to the top. On the move to the top side, let's go ahead and add some lines here, man. Fuck, this is so tedious. Daily time frame, we have 2 months where price has been moving sideways, but we've been in a zone of consolidation for 3 months now, where price is just rejecting highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs again, coming back down. We know we're on a downtrend for AUDCAD. AUDCAD, we're looking for level 2. Level 2, we're looking for price bounce off the 200 EMA. Right now, we're still on an uptrend, right? No continuations on the daily time frame. Going into the 4 hour, right? Our 4 hour highs and 4 hour lows is the same as a daily time frame, so we don't really have to update that. We had 2 weeks of counter rise. This past week being the third week, price went down and gave us a week of drop, right? So no continuations here. We do have a 4 hour engulfing candle that price never tapped into, so this could still be a good point of interest for price to tap in and come back down to the bottom. Mr. Adrian, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well, my brother. And on the 30-minute, we had a change of character, lower low, lower high. And we are now looking for a break of structure of these lows to continue that downtrend push. We had 2 days of drop, which was Thursday, Friday. Market opened for today, already gave us that third day push down to the bottom. We're also below the 800 EMA. Price broke below the 800 EMA. Perfect. Right, AUDCAD is looking good. We'll definitely keep an eye on AUDCAD for the week. Euro AUD, man, my allergies are kicking my ass right now. Euro AUD on the daily time frame, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. Price gave us a higher high. Instead of just giving us a simple higher high, higher low to continue into a higher high, it gave us a zone of consolidation, just moving sideways. So again, a lot of these pairs, guys, are just consolidating. I'm in no rush to take any trades. We had 2 weeks of counter drop. Price ended up giving us a week of rise, so we have no continuations on Euro AUD. And then on the 30-minute, price gave us a change of character. It gave us the break of structure, gave us 2 days of rise. Euro AUD looks like the best pair to keep an eye on. Looking for a 372. Price already gave us that third day high. Fuck, man. They're not going to give us anything easy, man. They're not giving us nothing easy. EURCAD, daily time frame. We are in previous peak high territory, still on an uptrend. Right, daily time frame, we're still higher high, higher low, higher high, looking for price to give us a higher low. On the 4 hour, right, 4 hour time frame, we had a change of character. We had a break of structure, lower low. We have a week of drop last week, and then this week price gave us a week of rise. No continuations as of right now. And this is a trade that I took on Friday, which was a fairly simple trade. Right, price gave us a lower low. On the move to the top side to make a lower high point, price gave us 2 days of rise. Right, not only did price give us 2 days of rise, and we were looking for that 372. So mind you, my initial TP, let's talk about it. Oh, but you have a 372. Why wasn't your TP at the highs of the previous day? And if I would have had my TP at the highs of the previous day, straight to TP. And as soon as it gives you that 3rd day high, you know price is going to reverse. Every single time. You guys see how pristine these charts are. This isn't me fucking guessing. This isn't me saying like, oh, I'm going to have a 1 to 4 every single time I trade. No. This is all mathematical. Right? You have numbers, use them. You have ADR, you have STP. Right? So, oh, but if you know you have a 372, why wasn't your TP at the 372? Or, oh, you had STP, why wasn't your TP at STP for the day? And we'll answer those questions. The number one reason asked, and make sure you guys write this down, please, I beg. The number one reason why my TP wasn't at these highs over here is because usually on Fridays, if price already gave you the daily high, right, the high of the day, usually price is going to tap into the high of the day and do 2 things. Either consolidate in this same area, or price is going to reverse. In this case, price didn't do either of those. Price continued to push to the top side, gave us the 372, and then reversed. Right? However, your rules are super simple. On Friday, if you took a trade at the bottom of the day and price already reached the high of the day, get out at the high of the day. It's a much more simple trade. And again, you guys think I'm going to cry about catching a 1 to 5? 5 pip stop loss with a 40 pip TP? I'm not. You think I'm going to cry over the fact that this could have been a 1 to 10? I missed 50%? No, I don't care about that. Right? I know that I just caught what I know I could catch 100% of the time, every single time I get on the charts. And again, the reason I'm so confident in my trades is because I've done a lot of back testing. And we could talk about it. Right now we could tag E in the chat and ask him about this trade. Right now we could tag Jordani, right, JD, and we could talk about this trade. Because I remember in my older, when I was still learning, when E was the one doing these classes, right, when JD was a little bit more active in the chats, I remember vividly there was a lot of trades, right? There was a lot of trades that we would catch on Friday, and we would have our TPs at STP, or we would have our TPs at above the high of the day. And price would just go to the high of the day and then reverse. Can you go more in depth about the high of the day looking like a type 1 pattern? And right, that's another reason why I got into the trade. It was a type 1 pattern. Beautiful trade. Right? It's going to consolidate throughout Asia session going into London, give you the breakout. Once it gives you the breakout, you're looking for the reversal. You got the reversal. Price went right back up. Type 1 pattern. Beautiful. Right? There's really nothing more to go in depth with that. Right? On Fridays, if you catch a trade at the bottom of the day, or vice versa, if you catch a trade at the high of the day, right, and you take it, for this instance, we took it at the bottom of the low of the day, right, I'm not looking for price on a Friday to just continue, right, especially on a week like last week where, yeah, just on Fridays, that's it. Why? On a week like last week, what did we have? We had a lot of news. We had a lot of volume on the charts. Meaning, already at the end of the week, if the market gave you, I'm just going to give you random numbers. If the market gave you 100 pips on Monday, and 100 pips on Tuesday, and 100 pips on Wednesday, and 100 pips on Thursday, right? ADR has been blown already for the week. Do we think that Friday is going to give us another 100 pips? Or do we think that Friday is going to be that day where market makers are going to start trapping traders, right? That's going to be the day that we know the market is going to start trapping traders. Or vice versa. Let's say the market on Monday didn't do nothing, and on Tuesday the market didn't do nothing, and on Wednesday the market didn't do nothing, and then Thursday we finally start getting the move. Do we think the trades from Thursday, Friday are going to continue to move, or do we think that the market's not going to move? Right? We know the markets are going to move because it hasn't completed its ADR for the week. So with that being said, the fact that we know the market moved the entire week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I got into a trade on Friday on a day where there was no news, there was nothing going on. Instead of going like, oh yes, price is going to give me STP or ADR, no. I'm catching it at the high of the day. And at the high of the day, if price gives you a break of the high, then we know it's gonna continue. But if price does exactly what it did here, where it just tapped into it, it gave you an inducement, it's gonna reverse and it went right back down. Right, so that was all this trade was. There's really nothing too crazy. But let me know if you need a little bit more details on that. I'll try to explain it a little bit better. But that's really all that it was. Right, we know the market moved Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What do we think is going to happen Friday? You think Friday's going to give you another 200 pips? No. Right, Euro USD, we had 2 days of rise. Why didn't price give us a 372? Because already the entire week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, look how many pips it gave us. Right, this is a pair that on a day-to-day average, it gives you 53 pips. We did 80 pips on Wednesday. On Thursday, we did another 80 pips. Right, Tuesday was Monday and Tuesday were the days that we had on average the right amount of pips. Right, so if the market doesn't move Monday and the market doesn't move Tuesday, we're expecting the market to move when at the end of the week. Right, Thursday or Monday, Tuesday, right? So we're expecting the market to move Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, the market doesn't move. Market's gonna move Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right? So we already knew that this was a low probability 372 just based on ADR, just based on the fact that we moved so much already the days previously that we could already expect the market to not really do anything. Right? So very similar to what EURCAD was, just opposite. EURCAD didn't give us any type of movements until the end of the week. So we know that we could expect price to give us that movement. No, all good, because you did say something similar in the Discord, yeah. Oh, fuck. I gotta do the weekly market, or the fucking 4 hour and the daily. Give me a minute. Man. I'm so tired. Track got me beat up this weekend. Back hurts. Hot as fuck in this house, dude, because I don't know. Like, how the hell? It's hot as shit outside today. I walk into the house, fucking AC says it's 85 degrees inside the house. Like, why is the AC off? Like, we're acting like we're poor or something. Like, hello? Like, turn that shit on. Oh, it's gonna get colder tonight. Okay. Turn the fucking AC on in the morning, in the afternoon when it gets to 100 degrees outside, and then turn the AC off when it gets to 40 degrees at night. Like, why are we in a house like it's a sauna? Like, hello? 3 weeks of rise on Euro USD. We already know we're expecting price to either move sideways or go down this week. So, Euro USD, I'm not expecting anything out of it. GA, we are in peak high territory, so this is one that I will not be trading. I'm just going to keep this one updated for now. We had 2 weeks of counter drop. On the third week, price just gave us that no net, so we have no continuations on GA. And then on the 30-minute time frame, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. Price has just been trapped in between these lower lows and lower highs. And then we had 2 days of rise, again moving counter trend with a 30-minute time frame, and price gave us a day of no net. So nothing really to talk about on GA. GCAD, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us a higher low, and we're still waiting for price to turn around, right? Start giving us higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame to then continue to take these trades back to the top side. We had a week of drop last week. This week, price gave us a no net, so no continuations for now. And on the 30-minute time frame, we're still trading between the previous lower low and lower high. Once price gave us his lower low, what did price start doing? Moving sideways. There's no trend. Price is just moving sideways, trapping traders, making you believe price is going to go higher to go back down, making you believe that price is going to go down to go up. Just trapping traders left and right the entire time. So for me, GCAD, again, I'll be waiting for higher highs and higher lows to be set. I'll be waiting for price to give us those continuations that we're looking for. Once we get those continuations, that's when I'll start looking to take trades again on GCAD. GJ, we've just been moving sideways for the last couple days. Gave us a change of character, gave us an inducement of the low. Not only did it give us the inducement of the low, but on Friday, what did price do? Just move sideways, gave us a no net. So there's no continuations to really talk about on GJ. We're also on the daily time frame. We're back up at the daily highs. Price still hasn't given us a break of these highs. It just gave us an inducement. So I already know, okay, cool. Am I expecting price to give us higher high, higher low to continue back up into a higher high? Or could this be the inducement? And this is where we're going to start seeing price go back down a little bit. I'm more on the fence that price is going to start moving down a little bit. So GJ, all I'll be looking for is two things. The number one thing, I want to see the change of character and I want to see a valid break. Once we get a valid break, I want to start looking for those downtrend pushes. Not only that, I'm looking at the EMAs on the 30-minute time frame. Right now, we're still on an uptrend. The 50 is above the 200. Nothing is telling us that this isn't a downtrend just yet. Once we get the 50 to cross below the 200, once we get price to give us a valid break of structure after the change of character, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again. But right now, what has price been doing for the last 4 days, 3 days and a half? It's just been moving sideways, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going to the middle, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, going back to the middle, rejecting lows again, coming back to the middle. We're just moving sideways. There's no trend here. Price is just moving sideways. There's no trend. The trend is your friend. If there's no trend, there's no trade. Right? So GJ, take a step back from that. GU, very similar to EU. Right? We had a 372. Why didn't we get the 372? Very simple. Market already gave us the move for the week. We moved Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If the market's moved Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you think Friday's also going to move? No. The move for the week has already been made. ADR has already been hit. Right, nothing really to talk about on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we're still trading in a downtrend. We had a lower low that was set. Right, this could still be a lower high. We had 2 weeks of rise. This week being the 3rd week, price went up and gave us that 3rd week high. So after 3 weeks of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. So this week, I'm expecting price to do that. Either move sideways or go down for the week. So GU is not one that's going to be on my watch list. NZD USD, price gave us 2 days of drop. It gave us a change of character at the bottom side, so we'll update that real quick. Right, change of character, text, turn that red. We're trading between that high and these lows. I'm not going to update that just yet. On the 4-hour time frame, we had 2 weeks of rise. This week being the 3rd week, price came up, gave us that 3rd week high and finished on a no net. But since that is moving counter trend, we're just going to move it as a no net. And then on the daily, once again, we know we are in A2, which is the second zone of consolidation on a downtrend, where we had 3 months of drop. On the 3rd month, gave us a drop no net. Could we expect price to continue to go lower? It could happen, but I'm not expecting it. Why? Because we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Right? I'm not looking to take shorts at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Right? I'm expecting price to give us, I'm looking to take price going short in a zone of consolidation, either at the top or I'll be looking for continuations, or when price gives us a break of structure of the bottom of the zone of consolidation. So right now, NZD USD is not even on my list. US30 is another pair that's not on my list. I will not be trading US30 unless something is crystal clear. For right now, there's nothing that's crystal clear. We have an inducement of the high on the daily time frame. On the 4 hour, we have higher high, higher low, and price gave us another higher high. So let's update this 4 hour high real quick. These are the 4 hour highs that we're trading in. We have 2 weeks of rise, last week being the third week. Price gave us a third week high. After 3 weeks of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. So we already know what the deal is for US30. We're still trading between higher high and higher low as well. Let's update our 30-minute high here. We're trading between these 30-minute highs, these 30-minute lows. We had 2 days of rise. Friday being the third day, it gave us that third day rise and finished on a drop. We had a gap in the market. Gaps reset the trend. So we'll be patient with US30. Again, I'll be looking at US30 in the mornings when I wake up, especially for the NYC session, but it's not something that I'm actively looking to trade. And all of these pairs at the end, USDCAD, ZAR, gold, Bitcoin, oil, I'm not really trading these either. But again, I'm going to keep this updated. But that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to explain, anything you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, once we finish updating these charts here, I'll be turning the stream off and we'll be back again tomorrow. Again, I'm just keeping these charts updated so I don't fall behind when the week starts on Monday. Two days of drop, and on the third day, price just gave us a no net, moving sideways. USDZAR, daily time frame. What is this daily time frame? So we gotta do the first. Four-hour time frame. We're still lower low and lower high. Still moving counter trend. We have third week low. 3 weeks of drop. The market must move sideways or go up. So USDZAR could be a good one for this week. I just don't like the fact that we're still trading lower lows and lower highs. Right, I'm not one to move counter trend, but USDZAR could be a good one to keep an eye on for the week, and it makes sense. Gold gave us higher high, higher low, and just continued the trend back to the top side. So we're trading between these higher highs on gold. We still got those 30-minute gaps at the top. We had 3 days of rise, gave us a fourth day push to the top side, no problem. Gold could do what it wants, man. Gold is a mysterious pair at this point. We're back at the highs. 4-hour time frame, we have no continuations. We had a no net last week. Then this week, price gave us a week of rise. And then it gave us no engulfing candles on the 1-hour time frame. It gave us a little engulfing candle, but that's moving counter at this point. And I'm not expecting price for gold to go down. If I'm expecting price for US30, GBPUSD, EURUSD to go down. I'm expecting gold to go up. Bitcoin, let's see if there's anything here that I should update. Nothing on the daily. Right, we're still higher high, higher low, higher high. Gave us an inducement of the high here on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. We had a week of rise, and this is what, Saturday at 7 p.m. Saturday at 7, Saturday at 7, Saturday at 7. We had a week of rise, then price gave us a week of drop, so no continuations on Bitcoin. And then on this week, price gave us a week of rise. We're still trading between this lower high over here and these lower lows over here. We had a daily engulfing that price is still tapping into, but again, I'm not expecting price to continue these pushes to the top side. We had a change of character, we had a break of structure, we had that third day push, or that third BOS push to the top side, and then price gave us a change of character just now. So we're trading between these highs over here and the lows that are currently being made. And again, we're trading in this zone here. And then last but not least, oil. On Fridays, if price taps into the high of the day, price will either consolidate or reverse. Yep, that's perfect. And then oil, we are in level 2 drop on a downtrend, right? We had level 1 for a zone of consolidation, level 2 that gave us the break of structure of the zone of consolidation, gave us a lower high point, and now we're looking for a lower low to be made. We had 3 months of drop. On the third month, gave us a drop no net. We were expecting price to give us a fourth push to the bottom. It gave us that fourth push to the bottom, gave us a beautiful engulfing candle, tapped right into it, went straight down into profit. Wasn't an entry I was expecting. I had it marked up, but it's not an entry that I was expecting for price to really respect. It was a low probability zone. But sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes the market will give you those entries. So gave us a week of drop for last week, no continuations. And again, we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation on a downtrend. Is not the best place to look for a trade. We had lower low, lower high, lower low. We have a day of drop on Thursday, Friday. It gives us a second day of drop. Am I expecting a third day low to be made again? No. Why? Because we are at the daily lows. We're at the 4-hour lows. I'm not expecting price to continue these trends down here. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. So, would it be the same if the MMP was in a downtrend, but just going short and looking for the low of the day? Yeah, it's the same thing. If you're looking for shorts and it's Friday and price already gave you ADR for the week, if you take the trade at the high of the day going short, your TP would be at the low of the day. You know, whatever comes first. If STP comes first and the low of the day, then obviously you take the trade at STP. If the low of the day comes first and then STP, you take the trade and you take the TP at the low of the day. That's pretty much for this weekend's weekly market breakdown, guys. We'll be live again tomorrow. Live trading session if there's anything left in the markets for us to trade. If not, we'll be live again for the isolation session for the rest of the week, and then I'll keep you guys updated on what my schedule is going to be like for the Christmas week and the New Year's Eve, the New Year's schedule. Any other questions? Let me know. Looking forward to the wedding. All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. No problem, my brother. The wedding is crazy. Nobody getting married, man. Fuck that. Actually, it's not even real. That's all you, bro. Going on a fucking date to the skating rink, ice skating. You don't even know how to fucking ice skate. That's the problem right there. You went on a date to the ice skating rink and your ass don't even know how to ice skate. And then you told me you got humped? Nah. Yo, yeah, we gotta revoke your card, man. That shit is just, you can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen. All right, team. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good rest of your night.